Hello, this is Marshallie, and welcome to my garden diary. And today we're looking at my Canadian goldenrod. I'm not the only one who's looking at this plant. So this plant is, well, this one that is blooming right now is in the back garden. And as you can see, it's quite a large bush. This one is about, I'd say, about 60 centimeters tall, or about 2 feet maybe. Right. So it's here at the back garden, but I have a couple others. So this one is the one that is blooming the most, and as you can see, it has quite an attractive yellow bloom with green foliage. And if we come across here, we also have another plant here that hasn't started fully blooming as yet. I mean, there is some color there, but it's not blooming as much as the other one that is over there. So that's just, if to give you an idea, if you would like this plant in your garden. If I go around the other side, we also have another one. So we have another one here as well. And this is growing quite well here. So this is, to be honest, this is not one of my favorite plants in the garden. It's okay. But it is quite resilient, and that means that I have to pull it out in so many places in the garden. So it sows itself out, and this is one plant that is quite difficult to pull up because it's such a strong plant. So if you have spaces in your garden, like this area here is quite rocky, and it's a filler between the two pine trees here, then you could go ahead and do that. But just be aware that if you don't want this plant to take over your garden, then you will have to be quite persistent in pulling up the small seedlings when they plant themselves out, because if you don't, then this can be quite invasive. I do have other plants that are also invasive, but from my experience, these ones are some of the hardest to pull out when they sow themselves out. So just make sure that you pull them up when they're quite small, and not let them have their way in the garden. It's a nice bushy yellow bloom. So yeah, I think in some countries these are not ideal plants to have in gardens. These, you usually find these, it's not necessarily a typical garden plant that people like cultivated garden. You'll find them in meadows and roadsides and so on. But I know we bought this. I mean, this is not something that we bought this from a plant center. So yeah, okay. So that's going to be it for that video, or for this video. Again, this is what the plant look like. If you have an area that you don't really mind what is growing there, then you can plant this there. It's not an unattractive plant, but it's just not one of my favorite plants. But it's doing a good work here with filling in this this space here. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.